Hello, this is Janice from Space to Relax, and the video I'm about to show you is a replay of a live Qigong class which I taught this morning via Zoom. I'll be teaching these classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays every week for the duration of COVID-19 and until I can get back into my face-to-face acupuncture and Chinese medicine clinics. This video is suitable for those of you who are beginners and also anyone who might have a little bit more advanced Qigong training. I hope you enjoy it, and if you'd like to join me for the live classes, then please click the link which is next to this video. If you're watching this video on YouTube, then so you don't miss future videos that I upload here, just hit the red subscribe button.
So this class today is going to be a routine which you can use if you have any kind of back problems. So this would be for any issues to do with tops of the shoulders here, upper back, and then also anything that you might have in terms of problems with the lower back as well. So I'm going to guide you through a series of exercises which start more kind of to do with neck and shoulders and upper back, and then work down towards kind of lower back and then into the buttocks and the backs of the legs and the hamstrings, because everything is linked together. So ideally you would want to be standing for this, but for those of you who find it difficult to stand for long periods of time, there's much of this routine that you can actually do from a sitting position. Certainly the very first part of it you can do from sitting. So if you want to start by sitting and then maybe stand up for the bits you need to, just work around that. So what we're going to do is begin, as always, by getting into the correct position. So just make sure that your feet are hip-width distance apart. Look down at your feet and check that your feet are parallel so that your toes or your heels are not sticking out at a funny angle. Make sure as well that you feel like there's equal weight distributed between the balls of the feet and the heels. So maybe just even sway back and forwards, just back and forwards, just to find that middle position where you feel comfortable and really well grounded. Check also now that you have a little bend in the knees. So just a micro bend in the knees, and you can check that that's okay for you by just straightening the knees and really locking them out and seeing how that feels, and then dropping down and bending the knees as much as you can without lifting your heels off the ground and seeing how that feels. And again, you want to find that middle position, really just a little bend in the knees just to take any tension out of the legs. Then check that your back is nice and flat. So we've done this before. I've demonstrated the Qigong stance to you before. So you could refer back to one of the previous lessons. I think it's actually lesson 1 of these live classes, which is on my webpage, on the blog page there. So you could look back for more details on that. But I'll just stand sideways on and show you here. With the back here, you don't want a huge curve in the back here. You actually want the tailbone to move down, and you do that by tilting the pelvis forwards. So if you just tilt forwards, you see the difference between this and this. Okay, so you want that. And again, you know, for something like lower back issues, you want this lovely openness in the vertebrae of the lower back. You want them to be almost kind of spread further apart, so you've got lovely chi flow going through there. If everything's squashed and it's all crunched up, then it's not going to go through that area as well. The circulation is going to be impeded. So you want this to create the kind of posture where everything is really open and free flowing. Similarly with the back of the neck, so moving up the body now, you want to be tucking the chin down slightly, although it's still parallel with the ground, and also back towards the throat. So just moving it back in, and as you move the chin backwards, you'll feel the back of the head just lift up and elevate, almost like you're being pulled up by a string. The shoulders are nice and relaxed. Just give the arms a little shake out. Okay, so I just went through the Qigong stance there in a little bit more detail than we've been doing in the past classes, primarily because this is a standalone exercise in terms of addressing any issues with your back, with back pain, with back stiffness. If you can adopt this stance as your normal kind of way of standing when you're going about your daily business, so if you're standing in a queue waiting for something, if you know, anywhere where you're standing, you want to be mindful of this kind of posture and get yourself into this position, because a lot of the time if we're standing around waiting for things, if we're in a queue, what do? We're standing like this, or we stand like this, fold our arms, and everything is kind of nothing's symmetrical. You're always, when you're one-sided with your weight, you're putting too much pressure on one side or the other. So if you can adopt this Qigong stance when you're waiting for anything, just, you know, in your daily life, integrate it into your life, then you'll just take a lot of pressure off many of the joints, but also take the pressure away from the back as well. So that's really the first exercise in this series that I'm going to show you, of actually finding a nice routine in order to deal with any issues with your back. So the first thing you do is the Qigong stance. Get yourself into that stance. And when you're in that stance and you're nice and comfortable, then close your eyes, close your mouth, and breathe in and out through the nose, using your abdominal breath. So bringing ourselves into the practice now. Breathing in through the nose, feel the belly expand. And breathing out, feeling the belly shrink back and moving back towards the spine. So throughout the class this morning, we're going to be focusing very gently on the back part of the body, on the back of the body, from the neck, back of the neck, all the way down through the back to the lower back area, to the coccyx area, to the buttocks, and all the way down the backs of the legs. So we're not really thinking about anything to do with the front. Usually we're very kind of forward orientated. We always think of the front of the body. So now, just as you're breathing, as you breathe in, take that breath in to Dantian, which is this whole area, back, behind and below the belly button. But when you take that breath in, think of not just the front part expanding, but also think of that expansion into the back of the body, back towards the spine, out to the sides as well. So really filling the whole area, bringing your mind and your very gentle focus into the back part of the body as you breathe. And as you do that in your mind's eye, see that breath coming in, nourishing the back of the body, going into the lower back, opening up the channels of chi flow, dilating all the blood vessels in the lower back area. In your mind's eye, see that lovely open, free flow, that dynamic movement that's energizing the whole area. And just keep going with that breath for a few more breaths. And now, slowly opening your eyes so that you can see me. So don't lose your Qigong stance now. Just check that you're in that stance and feeling nice and tall as well. Feel yourself growing up from the earth. So our 2 exercises so far are the Qigong stance, first of all, the abdominal breath going into the back of the body. This third one now is going to help to release any tension in the upper back area. So with this one, it does involve movement of the arms, and that the arms will be held up at shoulder level. So for any of you who feel restricted in any way in the shoulders or the neck, only go as far as you can go to your own kind of, well within your own limits with this. Please don't be in any pain. So the position for this, I'll show you now, but again, if you're limited, don't go this far. The position for this is to have the hands up like this. So the arms are at shoulder level, and then the elbows form a right angle, with the hands either loose or just in very loose fists. There is going to be a little bit of tension here. So if you can do that, that's perfect. If you can't go that far up, or if you can only go up, that far on one side but not on the other, that's fine. If you can only go to here, or if you can only come out to here. I taught this to a group of seniors before, in face-to-face classes before before COVID-19, and there were many people who were really restricted with arthritic shoulders, and so they couldn't go that far, but they just went as far as they could, and then were able to get a little bit of movement and feel some kind of a stretch and some kind of a release. So really, what you're doing here is you're moving in a way which is suitable for you, and definitely not going into any pain with it. You should feel a little bit of stretch, that's fine, but definitely not pain. So now for this one, what you want to do is, as I said, lift up hands, just loose fists, maybe just shake out the fingers a little bit. And what I'm doing here is I've got my elbows pulled back. So they're not here, they're actually pulled back. So everything, if I'm imagining that I'm sandwiched between like between double glazing, between two sheets of glass. So if my arms come forward, I can't move forward. There's a sheet of glass here, there's a sheet of glass behind me, and I'm the sandwich here, okay? So what you're going to do from this position now is just bring your mind, close your eyes for a moment, bring your mind to your neck, your shoulders, and your upper back. You should feel a little bit of tension there. The muscles are working to hold the arms up. And from here now, take a little breath in, just a small one, into your belly. And breathe out. And now this time, when you breathe in, watch me breathing in and just fold everything forward. So bring the arms forward, drop the head, and feel that lovely stretch down the back of the neck and into the upper back. Now breathe out. And now I want you to stretch further back. So pull the arms back as far as they'll go. Tilt the head back very slightly, but not so much if you've got any neck issues. And breathe in, folding forward. Keeping your mind as you do this in your upper back area. Breathe out. Feel like a valley shape being made in between the shoulder blades as you do this. Breathe in. Now feel the valley disappear and rounding. Breathe out. Really pulling the arms back. You should also feel a bit of a stretch here in the pectoral muscles. Breathe in. Breathe out. 3 more. Breathe in. Doing this at your own pace as you're breathing. Feel the valley in between the shoulder blades. Breathe in. Breathe out. You start getting tall as you do this as well. 1 more. Breathe in. Keeping the mind in the upper back. Breathe out. And now just allow the arms to float back down by your sides and just shaking out the arms. So hopefully with that one, you felt that movement and that bit of a release in the upper part of the back, and also probably quite a lot going on around here in the shoulders as well. Some of you might have, if you're not used to doing anything like that with shoulders, you might find that quite a difficult exercise to do for a long period of time, but it's the kind of thing that you can really build up over time if you just practice. If you just do a few of those every day, by the time you know it, you'll be able to do a lot more. You will build up that strength. So that's working with the upper back. And what we want to do now is, we've just been standing in this position for a little while, so we want to just release everything a little bit now. So just vibrating by bouncing up and down on the knees. And as you do that now, just turning from side to side, allowing your hands just to be very loose, staying nice and tall, looking in the direction that you're turning, and allowing the arms to go around to the back. So I'm going to turn around now and show you what's happening at the back of the body here. So the backs of my hands are actually hitting my lower back area and stimulating that whole area, bringing a bit more chi flow. into the lower back. So I'll just turn around for a second so you can see that. So that's very loose and relaxed. So that anytime you feel any bit of tension in the lower back, you can do that quite safely. It's not going to injure you, it's not going to damage you. Just be very loose to start with, and then as you really get into it and you start to loosen up, you can start to increase the amplitude of those movements and actually move a bit further and swing the arms out more. You know, just play around with it and see how it feels for you. And just be very kind of easy with that. Okay, so that's also a really nice little exercise that you can do for 5 or 10 minutes once you get into it. It's really very relaxing to do that. Okay, so so far we have abdominal breathing and the Qigong stance. We have this exercise here, moving the arms in and out for the upper back. We have this one, moving side to side. Okay, and that's for just loosening up in the lower back, just getting everything ready. So the next one is an exercise which is taken from the 8 pieces of brocade exercise, or the Bardo Jin, which is a really famous, very well-known Qigong exercise. And I think it's number 4 in the series, number 4 or number 5 in the series anyway. It's a very gentle exercise which works on the lower back. The movement isn't huge at all, but the focus of the mind is really important for this, okay? So you're in your Qigong stance, and what you're going to do is you're just going to stand and have one palm on top of the other, just to begin with, just around hip level. So not worrying about the breath for now, just follow along with me and with the movement for starters. So you're going to turn the hands over. So feel some pressure in the heels of the hands, this part here. So if you feel pressure here, then you feel a bit of a stretch down here as well, down the insides of the forearms. So you're pressing down, so there's tension. You see how my arms are not, I haven't got a bend in my elbows, my arms are straight. And from here, you're keeping the palms of the hands parallel with the ground in this way. And you're just spreading them out to the sides. So the fingers move out to the sides. You see, I keep my arms close to my body, and they move all the way around as much as they can go and still stay parallel to the ground. And at the same time that happens, I turn my head to one side, keeping the chin parallel with the ground. And then as I come back, I move the head back around. And from here, it's like you're scooping some chi from the earth forwards. See how my palms are facing you now? And then coming over and down to your starting position. So now going to the other side. So spread the arms, keeping them close to the sides of the body, turning the head. And then scooping forward. So relaxing here, no tension at this point. And then pressing down. So now let's go with the breath. So breathe in to begin, and now breathe out as you turn to the side. Breathe in as you scoop the chi forward, and breathe out as you press the palms down. Breathe in before you begin again. Breathe out, go to the other side. Breathe in, breathe out. One more to each side before we bring the mind into this now. So breathe in, breathe out, nice and tall. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the length in the back of the neck. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't forget to smile. Breathe in, breathe out. So now this time, as you turn the head and breathe, as you're breathing out to one side, what you're thinking of doing is breathing down through the leg on the side to which you turn. So if you're turning to the right, you're breathing out through the right leg, all the way down, through the feet and into the ground. So you're moving qi from dantian, from that lower back area, all the way down through the leg on the one side. And then as you turn to the other side, doing the same on the opposite side. As your hands come forward to the starting position where you're scooping up the qi, what you're thinking of doing is drawing it all back up that same leg and back into dantian, but up the back of the body, so up the back of the leg, up the back through the buttocks and into the coccyx area. So take a breath in, breathe out. And that side that you're breathing to, go down with your mind through that leg, into the foot, down into the earth. And now, as you breathe in, scooping qi forward, bring your mind back up through that leg, through the back of the leg, into the lower back, and into dantian. Breathe out as you press the hands down, and smile. Breathe in, breathe out. So now breathing out, down through that leg on the side to which you're turning. And now breathing in and drawing the qi back up through that leg as you scoop up the qi. And breathe out. And just one more. Breathe in to begin. Breathe out to the side and down that leg. Not just down the leg, but into the foot and into the ground. Now breathing in and up through the ground, through the sole of the foot, through the back of that leg, into the lower back. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Down all the way through the back of the leg, into the foot, into the ground. And then breathing, drawing the energy back up through that leg, into the lower back. And breathe out. And now just drop your hands down by your sides for a moment. Just maybe shake them out a little bit, but hold them here in this very relaxed position and close your eyes. And just feel into your body now. Feel any sensations you might experience in the back, in the shoulders, down through the arms and into the hands. Not forgetting your Qigong stance, so stay nice and tall, tucking the chin in, feeling that length in the back of the neck. And now, with your eyes still closed, bring one hand to rest flat on your lower belly, over dantian, so below the belly button, and place the other hand on top, dropping the shoulders and smiling. Bring your mind now to dantian, to that area in your lower belly, knowing that everything you've done this morning has been to nourish that area, to improve the circulation in the lower back area, but also all the way through the spine and down the backs of the legs. And just gently opening your eyes. And to finish this practice this morning, just to give yourself a little massage. So I'm just going to turn around and show you what to do, just to really kind of loosen up the back for you. So you're just going to place the hands in the lower back flat on the kidney area and give everything a little rub, and then going down the backs of the legs. So just go with the flow with this, just whatever feels really good to you in terms of massaging, but I'll show you without talking, because you won't hear me with the speaker when I'm turned away from you. So And then just shaking out the arms, bringing the hands together, rubbing the palms until they get really hot. Don't forget to smile. And then placing the palms one over each eye, staying nice and tall, dropping the shoulders, lengthening the back of the neck, smiling, breathing into your belly, feeling the heat from the palms going into your eyes, through the back of the eyes, and nourishing your mind. And then giving your face a little rub just to bring yourself back into the room, slowly opening the eyes. And so that's the routine for helping yourself to bring more circulation into the upper back, the shoulders, and into the lower back. And the reason I really like it, and especially the reason I like teaching it online, is because it's really safe. So you're not going to do yourself any damage with that. A lot of lower back exercises tend to involve forward bends, and forward bends are really not great if you're carrying some kind of injury, unless I can look at you and make sure that you're okay in a face-to-face kind of environment. But also a lot of back stretches are really good. Some of you might know some of the ones where if you're lying down, then it's a lot safer. If you're lying down and you're pulling your knees into your chest, those are kind of really nice back stretches as well. But if you're outside and you're in nature and you want to do something around working with the back and really helping to mobilize the flow of chi and blood into the spine, then this is great because you can do all of this standing up. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, you can ask them. You can contact me, Janice, at spacetorelax.com, or you can ask me in the Facebook group, which is Space to Relax Qigong group. So most of you are in that, I think. So if you're not, the link to that is next to this video. And so I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next lesson.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to learn some more Qigong from me, then you can do 3 things. The first thing is you can sign up for my free 3-part Qigong video series, which will be delivered to your email over the course of around a week. And you'll find the link to sign up for that on my homepage, on my website, which is spacetorelax.com. The second thing you can do is sign up and join me for the Zoom live classes, which are on Tuesday mornings and Thursday afternoons, and they'll be for the duration of COVID-19. So I'll put the link next to this video somewhere either below or above, so you can sign up and join me there. And the third thing you can do if you're watching this video on YouTube is hit the red subscribe button so that you don't miss any future videos from me. If you did enjoy this video, then please share it with your family and friends. Hopefully they'll join in and have some fun with practicing Qigong too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.